Ah, don't do that. I haven't used this camera in a bit and it's mad at me. I think it fully depleted the battery and reset all of its settings. It just made a noise. Oh no. Am I recording in the right format then? Probably not. Yeah, do not operate. What a surprise. Okay, no, it seems to be good. Anyway, let me make this short and sweet and to the point because it is the latest it has ever been, and I am still prepping for tomorrow. It's 6 o'clock. I'm usually done the day before, most of the time. I try to get everything fully done on Thursday, so Friday I'm not last minute trying to get ready, and then Saturday I can just go out. But I was a bit busy today doing things. I'll talk about that at another point when I'm ready to share it, but I built a thing, and we'll go over it in the future. It'll be fine. It's not ready yet. There will be a separate video where I talk about a thing I built. Kind of built. We'll get to it. The point is, I don't know where I'm going tomorrow, but I know I'm going, and I know I need to prep all the camera stuff, so I'm emptying memory cards right now. Those are finishing up, and then I will load them up into here and pack up a couple bags and move them out to the kitchen table and get them ready for tomorrow. And then I'll just have to figure out where I need to go. So I'm almost done, and most things are here. I did get batteries charged, thankfully. I am not going off of dead batteries. I did think about that, but I did that last night when I usually do that much earlier in the week. The only thing I haven't done yet that I actually feel like I wish I had... I could take time to do it, but as it's already 6 o'clock, I'm getting hungry, and I need to stop and eat dinner soon and then get ready for bed. I didn't schedule anything to upload. I've been kind of doing it more recently, is editing and getting everything fully done over the alternating weekend, and then it's scheduled to go up. So, like, in theory, something would be going up tomorrow from the 2 weeks ago where I went out. It's not scheduled. It's edited. It's just not ready to go. I haven't finalized it. I haven't made a thumbnail. I haven't done a lot of the stuff that I usually do after the editing is done because I get through the edit and I finish that up and then I go, all right, it's done. I'll deal with it later. And that's like another day thing where I come back and finish all the post-production stuff and get it uploaded and get it ready to go and finish that. And I have not done that yet because it's been a very busy, difficult, different week than usual. So I'm not going to hold myself accountable to that. It's fine. It's not like it has to go out. It's just a mental thing of it's nice to have something every week. And I'll do it tomorrow, so it'll come out maybe Sunday or Monday. It's just, a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. I throw things up whenever I feel like it anyway. But that's what I've got going on right now. Prepping for tomorrow. I'll think about it over the rest of this evening and kind of decide where I'm going to go. I know I won't go... Well, I don't know that. I know if I go back to the same spot that I have been, I'll check to see what the fog forecast is like. And then if I do that and I go out with that purpose, I will make 2 trips. I will make a trip with just tripods and I will make a trip with the backpack, front backpack. And I will do that separately and I won't try to force it. Or I will think of another place over the next few hours and we'll be going there. That is my plan for today, which is actually tomorrow. And I'm just hovering back and forth because I noticed the light quality difference between what is shining out of my bedroom into this closet and the lights that are actually just in the bedroom closet. All right, tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. That's the plan.
Well, back out here at a park that I've been to a few times, and when I thought about it, because I was trying to think of where to go, my first thought was, oh yeah, the park where is pretty close, because I was trying to solve from last time with the very long walk, trying to get somewhere that's much closer to from where I can park to where I have to carry everything to, and this place was that. But my first thought was, oh yeah, it's the park where I lost my GoPro. And then I thought, shouldn't do that. Should probably think about it in a way of like, oh yeah, this is the place where we saw that hawk really close up, because it's basically right across this little stream, and there was a tree right there where it landed, a pair of them, for a while. That's a better way of thinking about it. It's nicer. It doesn't highlight my mistake. Ah, well. Well, I got about a half hour, and it's going to take me 2 trips, so I got to get going. Let's go see what we can see. Weather should be nice. It has rained overnight. There's no more rain on the forecast, but it rained a good bit. Ground is wet and everything, which means, as far as I think, worms, which means birds getting worms. Maybe we'll see that.
There's a chicken right across there, but there's probably no way you can see that. It's somewhere right over there. It blends in, unless it turns and you can see its bright red head. There it is. But again, probably can't see that here. And it's just low enough, I can't see it with that. Not too worried about talking, just had a conversation with some people who I assume live here, because they were walking their dog, who very friendly and wanted to come up and say hello. Not exactly ideal, but oh, the dipper's back. Oh. Northern flicker. Alright, let's get backed up here. Got a lot to do. Alrighty, 2 bags, 2 tripods, my seat. Nothing over there. Nothing around here. Nothing left behind. And that's what it looks like during the daytime. Pretty. See the mountains. Or foothills. It's nice. Nice spot. 2 trips is better. I don't quite like it as much, but there's just no way. Physically, it's too much for me. That's okay, knowing my limits. You know, one day, maybe we'll have somebody else who can go, here's a bag, here's a tripod, you carry this. If you can see, given how wide the shot is, up on top of that, a bunch of rocks and people's houses. Can you imagine what it must be like to live there, that high up, and be able to overlook stuff? That's nuts. I also wonder if they like cleared the top of that. I don't know if you can hear me. It's now getting windy and I don't have a mic on. But I wonder if they cleared the top and flattened it in order to put down the foundation for a house, or if they naturally were kind of like a bluff and it was flat up there. And I don't know. They are quite literally on rocks. I can see underneath, kind of like I've seen some up in the mountains that were on the sides of the mountain that had wooden support beams and things. This is just rocks. That was fun. Good time, for sure. Very good. Very, very good time. That was great. It's hot now. Now I'm warm. Yeah, it looks like you're walking outside. No kidding. That was like 4 hours. So it's a bit longer, actually, full setup of doing that. Shorter trip there. 2 trips makes sense doing that. But that was really, really good for what we saw. That was probably, honestly, one of the top recording days I've had in quite a while. Based on stuff that we saw and how happy I am and excited about the footage and everything. We will see how much comes out, but I think everything. We definitely started out. I could have been a little bit faster on the setup. The sun had pretty much risen, and I would like to be like fully set up before the sunrise, so I can get that kind of first rays of light as we are here doing that. But it's fine. Got set up. Was hearing plenty of birds. Looked across to the same trees of the area here, and I'm happy to say I'm not going to refer to this place as the place where I lost my GoPro. Because 1, I didn't lose it. I left it. And 2, doesn't matter now. Now we've got a better way to remember this place. And it's not the first thing that I saw that was really exciting. Usually, since moving out here, I have seen quite a number of northern flickers. Also, by the way, 8th edition is the newest one. When got that, there'll be a video out after this, I think, about this. I've got a little story to tell. Actually, no, that'll be on Patreon. Never mind. But I've got something else to talk about that we did yesterday. But I won't do that today either. What am I looking for? I know what I'm looking for. The northern flicker, not what I'm looking for, but we saw that. And every time I've seen them, it's usually been 1, maybe 2, but not close together, typically. This was a flock of flickers. Which I guess is better than a flick of flockers. What? Let's see, what am I looking for here? So we saw that across the way. They weren't the closest, but that's okay. I got plenty of footage of that. They were very cool to see at the distance that I could see them at. Got to see, a flock of them. But something else that I hadn't thought about in some time, but was so excited to see. I have seen it only one other time, and it was back up in the mountains where I went to a creek, fast-moving water. Wasn't really expecting it. I don't remember exactly what day it was. I think I was just out there because it was pretty close to where I lived at that point. I've talked about that, so that's not a reveal of anything. But like there was a park that was right there. There was a little walking area, and I went there regularly. And with a creek, and I was standing at the bridge. If it was the day I was thinking of, I was actually in a really bad mood, and I just went out as an excuse to get out of the house and walk around and be outside, and I took a camera, not expecting to do anything, and then saw a brand new bird I'd never seen before. And it confused me at first because I'd never seen a bird do this either. And it landed on a rock. It was right over, it was on the creek, it did that, and then just dove in the water and then came back up and did it a couple times. And I took some pictures of it, and then went back and looked it up, and I found out the American dipper. Not something I would see, let's see. Utterly mesmerizing, plunges headfirst into icy rapids, swims powerfully upstream, bobs, dips on rocks, fallen logs, or edge of ice. In winter, pushed down from highest elevation streams when completely iced over. So, it may be up in the mountains, similar to what we saw, and then it's down here now. Really, really cool. Supremely adapted to aquatic environments, always found along and often submerged in swift streams and rivers. And I got to watch one for about an hour. I will have
plenty of dipper footage to put out. I think so, because I don't know why else. Like it was going at it. There was a bit, it was doing its dipping, so it's bobbing, where it's just up and down and up and down and up and down. And then it was doing a lot of like head in the water, and then it would fully, go in when it could. And I did the best that I could to get, slow motion shots as well, the high speed footage for as best I could with that. Because I'm hoping, just imagining, it'll look really cool to like when it puts its head down, the water just kind of flows around it. And like rushing water is always cool at high speed rate, like, as high speed as that camera will do, which is 300 frames a second. It's no slow-mo guys or anything, but it's certainly nice when I can see stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. And I got to watch it for a while. It was there. It was just here at the creek, it's a fast creek, going up and down and doing all the creek type things that it would do. And so, yeah, we watched that for a while, and it would dive in, and it would really, I don't know how to tell the age of it. I don't know. Maybe it was new. It's just fast water. And so it fully would like go for it and then like get pushed back in the stream. And it was very hard to keep up with it because once it's underwater, I have no idea where it's going to pop up, which has been the case with every diving duck I've ever seen or anything that goes underwater. I'm just kind of guessing and going, well, I've seen it do this maybe 15 times now. It usually goes down and then it comes back up over here to the right. So it's probably going to do that. So then I can start narrowing in, trying to find it so I can get it when it emerges out of the water. That's like one of the coolest shots I would like to see, especially like the kingfisher going down or one of the ducks. I don't know how I would do it. It's just purely just instinct of going over and over and over and over, because I don't believe in luck, but like practice of trying to nail down where they might be coming up so that I can be focused on that spot and have the high frame rate going so it, breaches out of the water where it's, not, you didn't see it go in and then you just suddenly see it come up. That's like a dream shot that I would love to get at some point. But seeing the dipper for such a long time is really cool. I have only seen it one other time, and it was very, very brief. Got to watch it for quite a while today. Got a lot of footage of it. Very, very happy about that. That was great. And then other things, chickadees here and there. Didn't get one on camera. Blue jay, I think I maybe got for a minute. The flickers were another highlight for sure. I've never seen so many in a group, and I love the red on them. They're very cool. I think that's probably everything there. As I was walking back, I saw a kestrel, but I literally had my arms full and everything. I just went, oh, look, that's what that is. I can tell that now. I've seen them enough times, and I get their shape and things. I'm learning. I could point to things like this. Like, this is what I've been practicing, or what I've been trying to do is simply like, oh, I see something based on roughly the size of it, its shape, the way it's flying, and it's kind of hovering, and the fact that it was just chasing off a smaller bird but gave up on trying to like nail it down. That's a kestrel. And also because of the coloration that I could see underneath and what was on the tail and, the general, like, yeah. And they're common for this area. That was cool. That's a little moment of like, hey, it's not as immediately obvious as, say, the flicker, who's just, there's nothing else like it, as far as I can tell. Like, it doesn't look that similar to other woodpeckers with the black to it and the red underneath the wings and everything. Like, that's an immediate thing. The dipper is very obvious. It's this big old little puffball thing like that goes in water. Nothing else does that. It literally said it was kind of unique to that and adapted to aquatic situations, or whatever I just read out of that book. That's great. Just great. Really happy with everything we saw. I'm sure that footage is going to come out. I'm fairly confident about everything there. I do have a few things to check, and so I'm saying it out loud so that when I'm editing this, if I get to this part, I will make sure, if I haven't done it already, to check out why my SDI cable wasn't working for the field monitor. It worked last time I was out. Didn't do anything different today. Got no signal out of it whatsoever, so I didn't have my extra monitor, which would have been really nice because I put the wide-angle camera over to the side on the left where the screen is facing the other direction, so then I really can't see what's going on and I can't check on it or anything, and it would have at least been nice to have that field monitor up on top. And there was something else that I thought of the screws. The screws for the top handle of the URSA Mini. I'm missing one. And only having one means that the camera will, the handle will tilt, which is not what I want. And I brought a second screw going, this will work. No, it won't. Not long enough. I tested it at home and I tested it stupid. I took the top body of the camera and put the screw. I was like, this is the right size. I didn't take the handle and put it on top and try to put it through both. It's not long enough to reach the threads underneath. Like, that was just a stupid mistake. But overall, fantastic day out. This is great. This is now, in my head, going to be the spot I saw the dipper. because I don't know if I'll see a dipper for that long of a time period again, and did it, but like here was the first one, and this is what matters. So yeah, and I'm sitting in the sun and it's getting hot, so I think I'm going to get going here. I don't think I have anything else really to talk about. This was a lot of fun. This was a good day out. I have a mountain of work to do. I am honestly debating. I wasn't sure if I was going to come out today. I did that whole thing yesterday in the closet of getting ready and doing all that stuff. And then I went and ate dinner, and my stomach just did. I was in pain. I was like doubled over in pain. And I went, I guess I have food poisoning, like shortly after dinner. And I couldn't figure it out because I haven't eaten anything strange. I'm on a weight loss diet right now, and like trying to go through. So it's just a lot of like vegetables and things like that. And I really couldn't understand why, but it passed. I was like, if I'm in this much pain tomorrow, I'm not going out, which is bad that I don't get to go out, but good because I have a ridiculous amount of work that I can do just sitting in front of the computer. Well, now I'm thinking I might do that on Monday instead of going out. It's been building up for a few weeks now, and now there's enough, like it's editing, and it's specifically stuff related to a website and something else that I'll talk about later. And like, I just have a lot of work to sit down and do. And it would be good to just take a whole day to do that. And I'm not going to do it today because I'm tired. I might get started on it today because I have a couple of hours when I get home before I need to do anything else. And it won't be tomorrow because today is February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. But we're not doing anything today, but we are doing stuff tomorrow. So the whole day is for the wife, whatever she wants to do. I'll probably get some stuff done because realistically we'll do stuff in the morning and like go out and get breakfast, I think is what we've talked about. And then later in the day it'll be like, well, now what? All right, you go play with your friends. I'm going to go edit things. Probably something. I don't know. I am counting on not doing that, but if I get through enough of it, then I'll come out on Monday. And if not, then I'll just take I'll take a computer day on Monday to just try to get through this backlog of stuff so I can not feel like, because even the whole day, when I wasn't seeing a bird, in my head, I'm like, could be editing right now. But that's not how it works. I can't just pick and choose. I can't edit when I'm out here unless I got a really fancy laptop. Don't have the money for that, that's for sure. Oh, So people came up, as they do, almost always. It seems like pretty regular. I did appreciate there were a couple people who had dogs and who saw me and turned the other direction. Because I'm like the end of a trail there at that point. Like you really can't go any further than that. So there is no reason to continue going. And I did hear a couple come up and they had their dog, and their dog just decided to come over anyway because it wasn't on leash and friendly, but you know. And so then they asked me what I was doing and, you know, what I'm looking for and things like that. And it's the comment that was made, and I can't blame them because it happens often enough. It's pretty common that someone says something about the equipment. Today was, oh, that's really sophisticated looking you got there. Last month it was like, what is all of the, you know, it's pretty common. It stands out. Even as populated as this state is for Colorado, I don't know this, but I'm just guessing based on the other states I've lived, which has been 3, and I've been doing this. I would assume this is one of, if not the top state for people with wildlife photography equipment. Big cameras, big lenses, things like that. But it's pretty standard that you see someone, even the variations on it are like, you could have a tripod, or the lens is ridiculously big, but the body's still, like, it's a very similar. There's slight differences, but they're all fairly similar. As you know, from looking at what I'm doing, mine stands out a lot. It's very different. I got big box camera, video camera style stuff. Like, it does stand out, so I get it. I get why people ask it. How do I respond to that? Is it a compliment? It has been happening for years and years since I got this stuff. More than 5 years. When I go out and someone sees me with that stuff, they're like, well, you know, nice. And I'm just like, thank you. Yeah, it is. Like, I'm like, you know, I didn't build it. I didn't make it. I take no credit for it. I make poor financial decisions. That's all you're complimenting me on, making poor financial decisions to do that stuff. That's all it is. To have the things that I have. But it's what I want in order to get the footage that I want in the quality that I want it. So I'm happy with it, with all those things. So I just try to be polite about it. But it's just I don't know. I think I can sum it up real nice. Hi, I'm Michael. I have an overabundance of social anxiety. I don't know how to talk to people. I'm working on it. I've been trying. I'm going to meetups and things and doing bird watching in a group, and that's fairly controlled. I didn't bring a camera for the first few months. I at least brought one. I'm not going to take this setup. There's no way. It's not mobile. I can't walk around or anything. But like, Yeah, I don't know. In my head, there are two things, which is, well, I want to be polite. You know, they're not being rude most of the time, although I do think it's a little rude when your dog's off leash, and it's not required in this area. There aren't signs for it. But still, I have owned a dog before. I will own a dog again. I will never have it off leash in a public area like this. No. It's bad for the birds. It's bad for the environment. Like, you're not keeping an eye on them. Bad things can happen. Coyotes are around. Like, just a wild amount of no. It's not necessary. If the dog wants to go sniffing around in the woods or whatever, and we want to run, we want to do something like that, I'll take it to a dog park where I can let it off leash and it's not a wildlife area. Like, just for that. So that does annoy me a bit. I wish that wouldn't happen. But there are places I can go where there are no dogs allowed entirely. So, like, it's a trade-off. But yeah, besides that, I usually, like, if I'm recording and I have headphones on, don't bother me then. I'm doing something, there's audio going. If I'm not or I'm packing up, no problems. I don't mind talking to people and telling them what I do. I don't have much to say. Most people assume, I have gotten on more than one occasion, that I'm shooting for some kind of company, a nature documentary, something like that. It's cool. I'd love to. That'd be fun. It's not the case. I just do it for me. I make no money off of this. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I don't. It's just what I do. And I don't really have a good response to that. I have to kind of think about it beforehand, and it always catches me off guard because they never quite phrase it the same way. No one's ever been like, sophisticated looking. Usually they're just like, that looks expensive. And I go, yeah, it was. And then we laugh. And then it's awkward. And then I go. Or, you know, they leave or whatever it is. Usually most people are interested in talking about what I'm looking for specifically because they've seen birds. As a matter of fact, this couple today who were out walking, we talked about two things mostly for that, which was the dipper that I was watching, seeing that. Like, usually there's a dipper here. I was like, oh, I've clocked it. I've already been watching it. It's not here at the moment. It might, and it came back actually, so I got some more footage of it. And the other thing, she was like, well, the lady was saying, you might see chickens. I was like, yeah, I've seen a couple chickens. There were chickens over across there's a farm right there. So yeah, they've got some chickens and they come and check out, you know, the water area. I'm not saying that they're coming to look at me specifically, but I do look at the chickens and go, they're cool birds too. So I try to get a shot, but they are more skittish to the point where I think they like to hide behind something, you know, that makes sense. And the lady even was like, you'll also see, you know, the remains of chickens. And I'm like, yeah, because that was something I clocked when I got there. And I was walking to go set up the audio stuff away from me. And there's just piles of feathers. No remains necessarily, but feathers. And that's, yeah, chickens. And, you know, she made a comment about that's why free-range chickens or free-range eggs cost so much. And I'm like, well, you know, nature. Foxes and coyotes eat too. Like, what? That's what it is. Can't blame them. So, anyway, now I'm just telling you a conversation that I had with a stranger while I was out there. I think I'm going to go now. Had a great day. Saw some great stuff. Really excited. More things to come. We'll see what I get to the rest of this weekend. But I'm having a lot of fun. I'm doing really good here in 2026. Dipper. Dipper. Gonna be so glad I got the dipper. It came up too. I didn't even mention that. I've been using the Merlin app to try to narrow down what I hear, but it can be wildly off. It was like cedar waxwings. And I went, what? I've been wanting to see those a lot. Like, there is among the top 10 shots I want. I don't have 10 yet, but like, I started thinking long-term goals and like just write down, you know, dream list of one of them is what I read about. I talked about it years ago when I read it in a book, and it was that cedar waxwings on specific trees with berries will eat berries until basically they get drunk. They'll overindulge themselves on it and they will fall off of the branches. But they'll also do a thing where they will take berries and they will pass them in a row. You'll get a row of cedar waxwings and one of them, they'll be pulling them off and then just passing them down, and then everybody gets some. They share. It's incredible. I want to document that so badly. I am refusing to look it up because I want to witness it firsthand. Like, for one of the reasons that I try not to watch as much stuff as possible, I want to see that. I want to record it. That sounds incredible. Anyway, I didn't see cedar waxwings today. I don't think the app was right about that. It also had some other rare ones pop up that I was like, I don't know about that. It maybe, you know, birds that are more like mocking and things like that. And in the way that they're mimicking, I mean. Anyway, but it did come up and say that there was the dipper. Now, I don't have a timestamp. I should have thought about that. I didn't even consider it. But when I was hearing that, I wasn't, because I had my headphones on and I was looking one location. I don't know where it was. There was a dipper eventually, but it wasn't at that point. And it's infrequent for this area, given the fact that I think typically they are higher up in what it just said, what I just read in the book maybe. I don't know. But it says it's infrequent. It was rare-ish, not fully rare, whatever. By their own determinations. I'm pointing to my pocket where my phone is. That's why that makes sense, hopefully. But when it said that, I don't know what an American Dipper sounds like. So maybe there was, because it was pretty sure it was coming up repeatedly. It wasn't just a one-off of like, was it maybe this? Nope. But it was repeatedly coming up as like, we are detecting the American Dipper. I should have made a note of that. I, at the very least, just screenshot it so that I have a timestamp, because I have audio running and I can pull up that timestamp and try to listen and then compare it to an American Dipper that I can hear online and be like, this is what it sounds like. I'm starting to narrow down. I'm taking it to another level, and we'll talk about this more when I talk about the thing I started talking about yesterday, but I don't want to. I'm just alluding to something, because I am trying to document photos, video, and audio all separately sometimes. If I can get audio at the same time as video, which is typically what I do, then I don't have to worry about it. But like, I'd like to do that on as many birds as possible. I'm trying to extend it, whereas before it was just like, well, I'll just take a photo. Now we're getting more serious. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time, because I got nothing left. Bye, everybody.